Dog treats in the bag.
Okay. Praise the Lord, everyone. Good morning. This morning, we're going to be talking about the best advice on how to be a live streamer on YouTube. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, whether if it's a cup of coffee, a latte, or some tea. Huddle up because it's time for the huddle. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to the huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong. If you're new here and you want to find your passion and purpose on YouTube, then we want to welcome you to the huddle. This morning, we're going to be talking about the best advice, not for small YouTubers, not for pick YouTubers or in between YouTubers, best advice for live streamers who want to take their live stream to the next level. Let me introduce our guest this morning. Our guest this morning is an engineering technician by education and profession. He is also a content creator and entrepreneur by passion. His drive is to help others understand and effectively utilize the technical resources available to them. I want to welcome to the huddle this morning the live stream master, technician, and media consultant, Mr. James Hicks. Good morning, sir.
Well, you bring me on stage like Steve Harvey at the Kings of Comedy, man. I'm gonna definitely make sure to utilize you in my intros in the future. How you doing, brother Strong? Good to see you, man. Good to see
I'm
you.
blessed. I'm humbled. I'm honored to have
Yes,
you
yes,
on the huddle. I've had the privilege of being on one of your shows and
yes,
talking sports, but this morning we talking shop and YouTube and live stream. So
yeah.
I'm truly blessed and humbled to have you on the show. To those
Appreciate
of you who are watching us on YouTube, I want to welcome you. Let us know where you're watching us from in the chat. Do me a favor, share this live stream on your favorite social media live stream. Tell them watch us on their mobile or their laptop or their tablet, especially if they have an interest in going to the next level
it.
in live streaming. Mr. Hicks, Brother James,
Yeah.
tell our viewers a little about yourself and how you found your passion in online video and live streaming.
All right, all right. Well, first and foremost, again, let me say I appreciate you. Thank you for this opportunity, Brother Strong, to come on here and share and chop it up with you for a minute, right?
Yes, sir.
Always down to have conversation, always down to help each other spread the word and build community and build each other's passion. So I've been in technology my entire professional career, right? So I've worked in many of the large Silicon Valley organizations for the past 25 plus years. I started Hicks New Media back in 2010, really as a online blogging and digital publishing agency. So had a number of presences online. We would go out and cover major events like CES and the Comdexes, whatever types of technology sessions and shows that were going across the country. And we would write on new consumer technology, enterprise technology, why buy this phone versus this phone, why buy this camera versus this camera, that kind of thing. So I've been doing that. And really the one blessing of COVID, right, was that these 15 months got the opportunity to stop, pause, and focus on the whole video and audio aspect of content creation. So really this last 15 months or so, I've been just laser focused on building community, having conversations, turning on the lights, pressing record, and making sure that I'm sharing other people's messages, because everyone has something to talk about. Everyone has a message. So I've really become passionate about that, really, again, over this last year of delivering content, delivering messages and things of that nature. So yeah, I've been going pretty well, right? Got a handful of shows and streams going on the channel. So we'll talk about sports, we'll talk about technology, we'll talk about business, but really add a different flair to those conversations. So talking about the social impact of all of those things. So NBA playoffs are happening right now. My show, Team No Sleep, I'm not just talking about the scores and what size shoes Giannis is wearing, you know, whatever the case may be, but we're talking about things behind that and how society is impacted by these athletes and how that kind of resonates outside the game. So yeah, I mean, I'm just having a great time meeting very interesting people like you within the various communities that I'm in. So it's all good either way, brother. It's all good either way. Yes, sir.
Definitely. That we want to say good morning to the social media diva, Miss Eileen Smith.
Yeah, we
good
live
morning,
now.
man. We want to
Eileen
thank
is
you.
in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She's definitely an encouraging voice to me and to so many others. James, so many people are now getting into live streaming. What are the top 3 things that you would share for a new live streamer that they should be doing and preparing before they even press record and go live?
It's a great question. And I would definitely say know what your drive and what your purpose is, what your goal is, right? Some folks want to get the play button plaque on their wall, right, and say, I've got 1 million subscribers. I mean, that can be an end goal, but, you know, day one, I think you need to focus on building community. You need to focus on what it is you're trying to say to the community that you're going to be reaching, because you have a story and there is an audience for that story. So kind of hone that craft, hone that message, and really point one is practice. You don't have to press record. You don't have to go live, but you can record locally. You can stand in front of the mirror in the bathroom or wherever the case may be, but get comfortable with speaking to yourself first. Get comfortable with speaking about various topics, understanding subject matter and things of that nature, right? So practice, I'm gonna say, you said 3 things. I'm gonna say practice is 1 and 2.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
Hey,
so
okay.
Know your message, practice and practice. But then once you do press record, document that flow, right? Document what's called a run of show. Make sure that you have your opening, you have your bumper, you have your call to action, your intro. Make sure you have a documented consistency about the message that you're trying to deliver. So you're not online when you do go live. So you're not rambling. So you're not going off topic. So you're not losing your audience because they came to hear one specific thing. And if you start talking about something that's completely 180 degrees different, there's a possibility that you may lose some viewers, you may lose some subscribers. So stay consistent, stay focused, continue to practice.
We talking about practice. Not a game.
Every time I said practice too, I thought about AI.
Practice. And this is practice when you need it the most as a new live streamer, which is a great segue to my next question. You know, I'm live streaming, but I only got 1 or 2 viewers in the clicker there saying, hey, I'm here to support. Maybe they're family and friends, but everyone else has 100 to 300. What are the dangers for a new live streamer if they end up falling into the comparison game of comparing themselves to the big name YouTubers and they get themselves discouraged? What advice would you give to them to stay out of that pitfall of comparison?
I've said this before, and I'm probably going to put this on a t-shirt. So shout out to Press and Soul, because they're I'm partnering with them for collateral. And the statement is, get out of your own way, right? Because everyone's at a different stage within this journey, within this content creation journey. So trying to compare yourself, if you have 5 followers, trying to compare yourself to someone who has 50,000 followers is just insanity, right? Because they've already been out here in these streets. They've already been down the road and had troubles. They've already turned on the camera and pressed record and the stream didn't go live, or audio issues were happening and no one can hear them. had internet connectivity problems. They've already gone through some of those pitfalls. You haven't been through that. You haven't embraced any of the journey yet, right? If you're trying to compare yourself to someone who again has already been in here for months, years, maybe decades as well, it's an unfair comparison, and it's apples and oranges. So get out of your own way. Don't try to be the same as somebody else as well, because you want to have your own message and you want to be your own person. You want to have your own voice in your own community. You're looking at other folks in terms of what they may have, right? They've got these big old monitors. They got these fancy lights. They got this nice, smooth sounding microphone. Look, you don't need that day one. You don't need that first month. You don't need that maybe even the first quarter, six months of your journey. Use that $1,000 camera that you got in your pocket. Right? Use that. iPhone shoots 4K at 60 frames per second. That's pretty good quality right there, right? So utilize what you've got. Take advantage of what you have at your current disposal, but make it a quality product obviously as well, right? So, and you make it a quality product by, as I was saying earlier, practicing, and having a consistent run of show and know what your message is. So, long answer short. I mean, that was a good question, man. But I was going to say, get out of your own way and don't try to compare yourself to others, because you haven't been through the journey yet to where. So Miss Eileen is online, right? She's out there. She's monetized already. She's a partner with YouTube. So she's got hundreds of thousands of followers on multiple social media platforms. She has seen things different than you or I or anyone else watching, because she's got her niche, she's got her audience, she's got her community. It's not going to be the same journey. You can be inspired by these types of folks and folks that are already out there doing these big things, but don't try to liken yourself to them. Just be inspired by them. Take bits and pieces from everyone that you're seeing that's already out there and utilize that. Put that in your toolbox instead of trying to mimic them. Just utilize that as inspiration.
Definitely. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this discussion this morning on the best advice for being a new live streamer to take your live stream to the next level, give us a thumbs up, click the like button, and hashtag value. And to my replay individuals who come back to watch the replay, I'm so grateful for that you will watch this replay. Give us a hashtag replay. James, as new live streamers, like you said, the first thing we got to start with is that phone that we have. It's the phone right there. So then as you begin to grow and as you begin to take your bumps on the head, then what's a nice starter kit that a new live streamer should be looking at in terms of tech? Maybe a microphone, a webcam, that especially that's within their budget. What advice would you give them so they don't turn around and go after the Canon M50 Part 2 that's gonna run them over $1,000 when it's all said and done?
Look, man, let me tell you something. It's called gear acquisition syndrome. And you can get caught up in gas real quickly, right? Amazon shows up here at my house every day. Actually, I got some new XLR cables coming actually as well as that. So look, but don't get caught up into that too much. But really starting out, again, that phone you got is an incredible device, because again, latest iOS device and latest iPhone shoots 4K at 60 frames per second. Man, this new Samsung S21 shoots 8K. Come on now. Really, where are you gonna be? YouTube doesn't even take 8K video, but again, you've got that capability, that power in something that's you're walking around with you all the time, every day anyway. If you don't have high-end mobile device like that, you've probably got like a Logitech C920, and I'm not sponsored by any of these names that I'm mentioning, Logitech, whatever, but you've probably got a 1080p or a 4K webcam sitting on your desk anyway. Take advantage of that. Cameras can be a touchy subject with folks, because look, there are folks that are all about Nikon, there are folks that are all about Canon, and I'm team Sony though. Look, I've been riding with Sony for a minute. So way before it was popular out here, I've been riding with Sony for a long time, and they just know what they know, and they do it effectively well, and especially for video. So I'm rocking a handful of Sonys within the studio here right now, and that's would be my go-to recommendation. You know, if I was giving someone good, better, and best, I would say start with one of those. I'm shooting off of an A6400 mirrorless right now with that buttery Sigma 16 millimeter lens right now. So I got it set down to f1.4 right now, which is why my entire background is blurred. So I mean, and those are the intricacies of the studio, right? You don't have to worry about that at day one. But if you're going to get this, Canon makes a decent camera, the Mark II, the M50 Mark II, like I said, and the Mark II does clean HDMI out. So being real specific about that one. But again, I'm a Sony guy. What's really the most important, even though we're talking about video content creation, is audio.
Definitely.
If you don't sound right, people will leave. People will leave in a minute. You could have a because a lot of times we multitask, right? There are probably people watching right now or on your replay squad that are going to be doing other things while they've got the huddle going in the background. And if that audio isn't crisp and clear, they're going to unsubscribe, they're going to leave, or whatever the case may be. So there are a handful of options from a microphone perspective, USB versus XLR. There are microphones out there that have kind of dominated the gaming space, but now that we're talking about content creation, multi-streaming, live streaming, things like that, we're trying to kind of push folks away from I'm gonna say the blue Yetis, right? I mean it's out there, it's good for what it is, but you know, when you're really trying to hone in and drive an audience and hear your voice and try to be professional, there are other alternatives out there besides that. It's just what it is. I'm being upfront and being honest, right? Sure. Shure and Rode make some high quality products. Samsung, SAMSON, makes some fantastic products that, you know, don't cost a lot, but as you go up the line in terms of capabilities, you're going to spend $199, $249. You're going to spend $500 depending on, again, where you want to be within your journey. Don't try to buy this SM7B day one. Go ahead and get that MV7 first, or go ahead and get that Rode Pod mic for $99 first. Get to some milestones in your journey and say, you know what, I now have 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I have earned the right, or I now am going to reward myself.
Right.
And go get this preamp, this Rodecaster Pro, right? I've gone through the journey enough. So make those milestones in your journey to where after you reach them, then you start continuing to level up your gear. Then the next thing after audio and video would be lighting. Lighting is tricky. Like lighting is tricky, you know, 3-point lights, 1-point lights, fill lights, hair lights, all that stuff. I mean, we could have a 2-hour conversation just about that. And man, you can spend a grip on lighting too. But be aware of the quality of lights as well. I mean, you can go to Target and get the little $4 lights if you want to, but it's when you're shooting at high frame rates off of a mirrorless or a DSLR camera, it's not going to look as good as true photo and really video lighting. Is where you want to go, and it's going to cost a couple of dollars to get that. It just is, because you're getting lights that are designed and built for a specific purpose. I've got Elgato going throughout the house right now. So I've got 2 Elgato Airs, and then I've got the one big one in front of me. I've got fill lights, Philips Hue running all around me. So I can actually change the mood of the room, right? With the different color scheme and whatever the case may be. And the light that's, let me point the right way. that nano leaf right there behind me that you see on the wall, that can change various colors as well, depending on the mood that I'm having for a particular stream or whatever the case may be. So again, just continue to progress in terms of what you're doing and where you want to be, and reward yourself as you hit those particular milestones and up level your studio.
Definitely. And then in terms of, like you said, rewarding yourself, I think the biggest reward that you want to be able to reward yourself and saying, okay, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, I'm starting to get comfortable in being on the camera. I remember when my days of wanting to live stream, I did a lot of mine just on Facebook Live because I just didn't have the courage at the time to go play in the big pond in the ocean of YouTube. I just felt like, okay, I'm not ready for that. So let me just practice doing live streams on Facebook, making my mistakes. And then one day I just said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and record my first video. I was just watching my first video that I did on men's health.
Yeah.
And little did I know, before I even understood live streaming, I looked, I said, wait a minute, this video was 40 minutes. What in the world was I thinking? I outlined my 4 points, but then I said, wow, before even live stream became real popular, here I did a recorded live stream.
Yeah.
Didn't even know it. And then I said, okay. And it's just like you said, getting comfortable in front of the camera, putting in and enjoying the journey. And then when the time comes for you to be able to start getting gear. And I want to piggyback off you said on lighting. How important for us as men of color and women of color, how important is the right lighting for us so that way we don't look like an orange on camera?
Right. I mean, that's exactly right. And that's reality. So and that's why I specifically mentioned about fill lights, hair lights, lights coming in from ambient lighting from the back and things of that nature. Right. You don't want to be oversaturated. You don't want to have the Kelvin dial set too high or too low. You really want to find something that complements you and that is diffused as well. So the video lights typically all the quality ones have some diffusion in them, so it's not so blaring right in front of you. And it all is going to depend on your specific layout and your specific situation as well, in terms of where you put those lights. So do you have something looking up at you down from your monitor? Do you have lights coming in kind of filling from the sides of you so we don't look dark on one side of your face versus another side of your face, and not have the raccoon eyes? So it's all very tricky, right? But again, it's specific to your location. So there are folks that will actually help you plan out the design of your studio. So I'll actually, if you're looking to have a conversation, there is a gentleman that Junaid Ahmad, who's in our community, right? And we're all helping each other. And he does studio design consultations, and he's really out there doing these type of big things, helping folks look their best in their particular situation. So, maybe your monitor where it is right now is not the best place, right? Maybe that natural light you've got coming in from outside, you need to close the blinds, get some blackout shades or whatever the case may be. Maybe you need to get a much brighter light coming at you from your left front, so that side of your face is illuminated. I tend to stay away from the controls within my streaming environment. So Ecamm allows me to change picture brightness, temperature, tint, contrast, and something called gamma as well. I really am hesitant to do massive moves with that, because that's where you start getting the weird tint colors, right? The greens and too much oranges. So I'm very, very conservative with adjusting those calculations, because those are software driven, and actually buying physical lighting to control how I actually look on camera. The most important thing to do about lighting, to be honest with you, outside of everything that I've just said, you have to learn how to properly white balance. You have to properly white balance your camera. And that is, again, every time you're out there and you see a professional photographer or professional videographer, they're actually getting the white balance for the situation and the environment that they're in. You can look, you don't want to spend a whole lot of money. You can go to Amazon and get a $7 white balance card that has the 18% gray and the white. Put that up to your face. Take a picture of it with your phone. Have your camera take a picture of it and properly white balance your environment. 80% of people out here live streaming today right now don't have proper white balance on their cameras. I think the number's at least that high, to be honest with you. And once you do that, everything else starts falling into place. Your lighting just starts popping, right? Your diffusion, your bokeh, the blurriness in the background. That's really step one from a lighting perspective. Learn how to white balance your camera. Go ahead and read that instruction manual. I know you may have thrown it away, but look up online about white balancing your camera. It is there for a reason, and you need to do that day one.
Definitely. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this discussion on the best advice for new live streamers, give us a hashtag value. And to those of you watching the replay, hashtag replay. Hey, this is some good content, I'm going to watch the replay myself because, like you said, white balance. I'll be honest, I've been doing this now for a minute, and I've never thought about doing anything like that.
Yeah.
And I know for me, sometimes lighting can be a challenge. I have my patio door behind me, so I don't have natural light in front of me. So I have light coming from the right, light coming from the left, and then a little studio lamp in front of me. And so this is some great advice that for me and for those of you who are watching the replay. Let's talk about promoting your live stream, James.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's about getting comfortable in front of the camera and getting comfortable with the content. What are some of the best practices that a new live streamer should be following to try to promote their live stream instead of just taking the link and then going into Facebook and then instant messaging 20 people? Get yourself in trouble with Facebook and instant messaging.
Yeah, but we laugh about that, but there's truth in that as well, and there's value in that because, look, Mark Zuckerberg has the entire planet on Facebook, and you can't sleep on that, right? That's how we stay in contact with our sphere of influence, our family, our close friends, and things of that. So, my recommendation is start with them. Start with that sphere of influence that I like to call it, your family members and your close friends. But let's be honest, and I'm going to be honest, they're only going to get you so far because you can tell all your family that you can say, hey, grandma, hey, auntie, check me out. I got a YouTube channel. I'm out here doing these content creation activities. They'll say congratulations. They may share it once or twice. They may tune in once or twice as well, but you're only going to get so far with that. You're going to build your community by folks that you don't know, by folks that are following and are interested in your message. So that's where you need to focus. Okay. So start with that sphere of influence. Send a message out to all your friends on Facebook and LinkedIn and whatever, saying, tell them you're doing X, Y, and Z. After that, really, the idea is to be consistent. Yes. So if it's a daily show that you're doing, if it's a weekly show, if it's quarterly, whatever the case may be consistent in terms of delivery, and also be consistent in terms of either day, week, and time, right? So if you're saying that you're going to go live every week on Wednesday at 6 p.m. your time, you need to be going live at that particular time every single week, because you're trying to build that trust with an audience, and they're going to put that timestamp in their calendar to say, you know what, Walter's going live on the Huddle this particular date, this particular time, so I'm expecting that. And if you start missing those time slots, folks will start unsubscribing. Your viewership numbers and your analytics will start going down because you're hurting yourself. You're trying to build a community. You're telling them you're going to be there, and you're not even showing up to your own party. So there's number two, right? I would say third is, once you do start having folks attending your streams and engaging and interacting, you as the host, you as the moderator, need to engage with them as well. So respond to the comments, right? Show the comments on the screen, and or after the stream, acknowledge folks who took that half a second to actually write a comment. That shows that you're listening. That shows that you care, that they spent the 10, 20, 30 minutes of their time to come to your stream. So respond to them, because again, these are the folks that, if you send me a reply to the comment that I left on your stream, that shows that you care about me, and that's going to help me to come back. That's going to allow me to say, you know what, Walter's cool. He's responding to me. He likes what I'm talking about. I like his show. Let me tell my friend down the street, come check out the Huddle. that's how you start building. That's the domino effect of building community and building your environment. So those are the things, right? Start with your sphere of influence, close people around you, be consistent in terms of your delivery, be it either daily, weekly, monthly, and the time as well, and then respond back to the folks that you're starting to engage with, right? We're doing this to build a community and spread messages. If they're responding to you, you owe them the time. You owe them the right the courtesy of responding back to them as well.
Definitely. And it's all a learning process. And I think when I first started doing live streaming, and even sometimes today, trying to make, like you said, trying to be able to do the live stream and then multitask. I remember one time I had a guest on and I wanted to solo him. It was very early. And right with StreamYard, it'll say solo, but then it says exit. And then the guest popped right off. And I said, oh, snap. And I had to fix my face and said, right now we're having technical difficulties. Our guest will be right back. I was like, oh, my gosh. I kicked the guest off on a live stream. And the person came back on. Yeah. He was like, he never knew really what happened. But I told him after the show, I said, I apologize. I hit the wrong button. So even if you are concerned about, I want to be able to hit the comments and I want to be able to transition in solo, but you're not comfortable multitasking, it's okay. Yeah. Just grow. And then eventually as you can become more comfortable, whether if it's StreamYards or Ecamm Live, and again, this live stream is not, sponsored by either of them, but they're great software applications that you can learn, and you have to be able to get comfortable with, so that way you can start to multitask and to be able to respond to comments. Because I'll be honest with you, James, sometimes I'll struggle with it, and I'll go, okay, the guest is the focus. Let me just focus on the guest and acknowledge my viewers who are commenting as we go. And so that's definitely some advice that I would give a new live streamer.
But see, there's nothing wrong with that as well, right? Because again, focusing on the one-to-one conversation and the interview, that there's value in that as well. And then, like they say, come back afterwards and then engage with the folks that were commenting during the stream, right? So have that secondary conversation with them as well. But I would say just don't leave them out. Focus on the live aspect, and all the administrative piece of doing fancy overlays and switching screens and solo to adding displays and actually web pages and all that stuff. You'll get there, folks. And I'm saying you as in everyone out there.
Sure.
You'll get there. Focus on your delivery and focus on the content first. Don't try to do too much initially. Just get comfortable with who you are. Get comfortable with spreading the message. Get comfortable with the platforms, like you said. So StreamYard, Ecamm, vMix, Zoom, all of Teams, all that stuff. You can't just fire them up and expect to know how to utilize them and how to use them every single right out of the gate. Ecamm and StreamYard are adding in capabilities and functionality and features all the time to make our role as producers and as content creators easier and more effective. If you're not reading those README notes, if you're not digging in your settings, if you're not looking at all the options regularly, you're going to miss something. Okay. Right? Because things will move and set up in preferences screens, and you'll think that you're bringing up a lower third or something, and you're accidentally firing off you're kicking your guests out of the stream. So know your platform. Get in there and do that work and understand what you're doing before you go live. Take that time, really just sit with yourself and sit with StreamYard, right? Work through the screens and know what happens when you bring 2 guests on the stream, when you bring 3 guests on, right? When you add in a screen share, when you bring on a ticker, when you do all those different aspects, do that first when you're just recording by yourself, not live. So you are comfortable with that when you actually do go live.
Man, the man just dropped the mic. He dropped the mic.
I should put some sound effects on. I won't do that to you though.
He dropped the mic. Hey, this is just some great advice on live streaming as a new live streamer. Let me ask you this final question. What three things what are three things you wish you knew before you got on YouTube and before you started live stream that you would share with new live streamers?
That's a good one. What three things that I wish I knew? I wish I had paid attention to other folks telling me this story about building community and about what it means to be a content creator, right? A lot of times, I don't know, pride gets in our way, or we think we know everything, or we think we know more than we actually do. But taking advantage of the existing community, like I say, who's already been out there, who's already gone through the hurdles, already gone through the struggles. So I wish I'd paid attention to folks telling me about this is how it's done, and this is how you can be more successful. I also wish that I had taken advantage of some of the really cool tools for analyzing data, right? So knowing who's watching, from where they're watching, how to retain an audience, how to grow an audience. So tools like vidIQ, tools like TubeBuddy, right, that actually help with tagging, with building quality thumbnails. I mean, you don't think it right day one that something like a thumbnail would be the thing that draws someone to your channel and to your video. But think about you as the consumer, right? Before you got into these content creation streets, why did you stop on a particular video? It's because of that thumbnail that you saw was eye-catching. It had a message. It had some flair to it. That's what got you. That's what caused you to click on it. So how to create that particular eye-catching thumbnail is something that, again, that I wish I had paid attention to and knew how to create those based off of tools that showed analytics and reporting. So like, again, I use vidIQ and I use TubeBuddy extensively to help me know when to post, when to publish, how to properly tag a particular video, what to put in the description and things of that. So I wish I had paid attention to those things. I mean, that's really, where it is right there, man. Just listening. I wish I'd, like I said before, I wish I'd gotten out of my own way, right? And taken heed, brought the notebook out and the pen and started jotting down stuff that folks were saying instead of going in one ear and not the other. Look, I've had my YouTube channel since 2006. And for up until just this past year, I hadn't hardly done much with it. So it's been sitting there stagnant, idle, couple of videos here and there, just not really paying attention to it. But once I got serious, once I got focused, once I started listening to folks that are already out here doing this, I continually started fine tuning and tweaking and changing and updating. So a lot of the content that I had out there since 2006 is now still getting additional views because I've put in the work to make those still relevant to today's viewership. So that's definitely what I would say for folks who are just starting, maybe feel like they're struggling. Remember, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. It's going to take a minute to get to whatever milestone and then whatever end goal that you're trying to get to, right? I would say focus on that end goal. Keep moving. Don't get complacent. Don't slow down. Don't get discouraged. Enjoy the journey, right? Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. Learn from it. Share it with others as well. Bring folks with you as you're climbing the ladder. Bring folks with you. Document your process. But at the end of the day, listen and be inspired by folks who are already out there that are doing these things. Be consistent with your delivery and your message. Find your audience. Listen to your audience. And then give them what they want and give them what they need. And as long as you do that and you're true to yourself and you're doing this because it's what drives you and you have a passion for doing these types of things, for doing this content creation, you're going to be successful irregardless of what it is. Irregardless of whatever the vanity metrics are. You can have 5 subscribers or you can have 5 million subscribers. But as long as you're comfortable and happy in what it is that you're doing and the message that you're putting out, I chalk that up as a success right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Where can our viewers get more information about you? Everything is in the description, but where can our viewers get more information if they want some tips on tech and media?
Yeah,
because you are the live stream master.
Man, I'm gonna record that. That's gonna be my intro from now on. Watch next week when I start a show. It's gonna be Walter Strong with the intro there. Yes, look, man, I'm everywhere on social. You can always hit me up. I've got a landing page that has all of my links though. So solo.to/James Hicks. So solo.to/James Hicks is where I have all of my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Twitter, Facebook, all that. You just go there instead of me trying to rattle off all of the different specific locations. But yeah, I've built a landing page that has all of those locations.
Great. Hey, I am so grateful for you coming on the Huddle. And if your schedule permits in the near future, we would love to have you back again to take this live stream discussion to the next level. I think we just kind of scratched the surface on the beginner, but there's the intermediate and the advanced. And when we like you said, this is a journey that we have to grow together. And the community part, man. If your schedule permits, just talking about the importance of a community. And you know what? That's going to be our question of the day. Are you a part of a online video live stream community? I know we don't try to ask too many closed-ended questions. We like a lot of open-ended. But if you're not, what's the hold up? Drop down in the comment section and give us your feedback on why you're not a part of an online community to grow.
Love that.
Definitely. Any final words before we end this huddle this morning?
Look, man, no, again, I'll end where I started. Appreciate you, brother. All right, this is I like what you got going on here. You got you got a good thing going. Keep it up. This is good messaging, good content. And a great platform, obviously, that you're taking advantage of and that you're utilizing. So I'm humbled and honored to even be asked to be part of this. I just again think that as you just closed out and mentioned, community is where it's all about. There's no big I's and little me's here. It's all about us trying to assist and help each other, bring each other up as we progress and as we learn. So let's just do it, man. Right. If your goal is to get one of them play plaques on your wall, let's get you there. If your goal is to get that new camera or that new mixer or that new microphone, let's get you to where you got some revenue to where you can actually say, you know what, YouTube bought me this SM7B, whatever the case may be, or you just trying to hone those skills and you're trying to be more comfortable on camera and be more comfortable when the lights are on. Let's get into a private Zoom room or a private, Google Meet session or whatever, and let's practice. Let me throw you some hard fastballs and some changeups and see if you can hit them. We're all here to help each other. We're all here to just support. So let's do that.
All right, now, hey, to those of you watching on YouTube this morning, to our social media nana Eileen, and to the rest of you, the crew, we want to thank you for being a part of the Huddle this morning. If you haven't had an opportunity yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, I want to encourage you to subscribe. And you may say, why do I need to subscribe to another channel? Well, on this channel, we want to help you find your passion and unlock your purpose on YouTube. So that's our mission. So if that's a core value you have, we want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel, share this live stream with another person on your favorite social media channel. And as we close out, we always close out with Proverbs. It says, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that will prevail in your life. Proverbs 19, verse 21. We want to see God's purpose prevail in your life. We will see you next week. James going to hang out after we go off live, and we will see you next week.
Be good, y'all.